Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of the
Nine.
Nine Pro Wrestling Perspectives podcast. We had 2 episode 7s in a row, so you just go by the date. If you see the one for March 22nd, that's actually going to be episode 8. We welcome you. Glad to have you here. My name is John Alford, and I want to introduce to you the other people that make up this podcast, the Whitner Boys. Chad, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, man.
Good deal. Chance, what's up with you?
Excited about
What's going on,
Wrestlemania.
guys? Not much.
I'm very excited as well. Chase, how are you, sir?
Always great, man. Always great to see y'all.
Good deal. All right, just to double check with everybody, how's the sound coming through for all of you, for me, and the other people in this group?
Sounds
Good.
beautiful.
All right, awesome. Okay, folks, we're going to go right out of the gate.
Got a lot to cover.
Yeah, and last week we promised you a brand new segment, but we lost that person who was supposed to do that when it was his time. So we're going to go ahead and get it knocked out right now before anything happens.
Okay.
Chad, we want to know your played out wrestler of the week.
My played out wrestler right now. This guy's been at the top of my list. If you've watched this at all, you would know that I have a disdain for this guy. I don't really know why he's still around. Don't really know how he made it, really, but and it's Dolph Ziggler. He is our inaugural washed up wrestlers.
Way to go, Dolph. Way to go. You won something, buddy. You won something.
Yes. Speaking of winning, his career win percentage, and there's some much lower than him. Let's not think that this is a terribly low stat.
Okay.
But I would consider him a babyface, wouldn't y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well,
most babyfaces don't have this low of win percentage.
Yep, that's correct.
A lot of it's been recently. He's at 47% in his career. In pay-per-views, he's a whopping 36% win percentage. And just to give you, for instance, like Miz is like 38% overall, but he's a heel, so a career heel.
Hey, would you really consider Dolph a babyface though?
If you're talking about career, I think he's been mostly good. And on the house shows, that's where you get most of the bang for your buck if you're a babyface. You don't typically lose on the house shows. Like what Chat's telling us, it's very bad considering that.
Yeah.
And then Pro Wrestling Illustrated has him ranked 32 right now, which is, I feel like, pretty high for him. The best he's ever gotten is 9th, and that was back 2013.
When he won when he had the
really
title.
Was nobody. But it was 9th. It's the highest he's gotten. And then you look at the last 3.5 years, he's only had 2 matches that they ranked 4.5 or better. I'll give you, for instance, KO, which we think is kind of fallen off lately. Just in the last 2 years, he's had 5 matches 4.5 or better. So, and I don't think – I'm sure there's many more, but I'm just giving you somebody in parallel with him. Okay, so then we got – he's usually ranked anywhere from 25 to 50 in the last 10 years. His longest singles match is only 21 minutes compared to like Cena's 50 minutes. A couple others are 40s and 30s. Now, there's a lot of guys around 20 minutes, but they're him type guys, just if you're a big time guy, usually all of them have a 40 or 50 minute, just an epic match, and he's never had it in his whole career, really.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. And he's been around since, I think it's showing about 06, 07. Could be wrong on that. He's been in 27 main event pay-per-views, which sounds like a lot.
That's I would think that's a pretty good bit.
But you got to think how many pay-per-views are in a year? 12? 10?
About 12, once per month.
Yeah, so you got to think he's been around 10 years. That's 120. He's only been in 27. So And just to keep the KO reference going, KO's been in 27 main events in his short
He ain't
career,
been there, but yeah.
Ooh,
about half the time. So
Chad bringing it.
I'm
yeah,
about to say he dove in on this segment.
and then
I'm about to
let's see,
step my game up.
oh, here's the biggest one to me, and this is just shows him his latest issues. Last year in 2017, he had a drought. He won May 2nd in 2017. Okay, and then AJ beat him the next week, and then he lost every match until October 17th.
Wow.
So you're talking 5-6 months drought. He didn't win a match, and when you do that to a guy, you're pretty much saying you're done. And it's funny, he just won a match against Fandango, whatever his name is, this past week, which I feel like is pretty much him in a funny way. So why even have him?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's our washed up wrestler of the week. Weigh in with your comments, emails, whatever.
It's pretty good
Y'all let me know
segment
what y'all
there.
think too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
I'm speechless. That was
I am
awesome.
too. It was really good.
I would say this, that Dolph's is like always stuck in a loop of we're going to bring him in. He's going to win a little bit. He's going to get some character definition. And there's never that conclusion to his story.
Yeah.
He
I could
drops
give a
off.
caveat too that I could give the reason why he might still be around. I mean, for one thing, he's good with people. He's good with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of
He's a good wrestler. I mean,
Yeah,
we
he's
really
good
watch his matches. He's actually
consistent. Don't get hurt a whole lot. I think he got hurt a little while there, but he's been pretty consistent. Those are the reasons why he's still around. I mean,
yeah.
But he came in an age where there was no stars, and he's been able to hang around after the stars have came back, and they've grown these other stars. But he's kind of fallen to the wayside for obvious reasons.
Yeah. All right.
Good,
That's
good
pretty
deal.
good.
Mm-hmm. Chance, you want to add anything to what he just said, or tell him that he didn't do a good job, or something like that?
No, I thought that was great. Great info, great stats you had there. I just don't really care about Dolph, so I don't have a lot to say about him, and I feel like they haven't really highlighted him recently when I've been watching him. Or when I've been watching it. So, I don't see him a ton.
Gotcha. Well, we'd like to hear from you on Dolph Ziggler and any other issue you'd like to talk with us about. If you want to be on the show, or you would just like to give us some type of comment to help us go on with this podcast, you can reach us at ProWrestlingPerspectivespodcast@gmail.com. Please like the podcast. Please subscribe so we can get this baby rolling. All right, guys, let's move on to our next segment. It is the Raw recap. So we're going to look at the main things that happened during Raw and discuss each one of them. First, I want to look at what happened with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Brock came out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman gave a very typical Paul Heyman promo. Not great, but not bad. And at the end of this promo, when he's doing his usual routine, reigning, defending, he stops at the end. The crowd keeps saying it, but he stops. And here comes Roman Reigns from the crowd. He's wearing the same outfit he wears every single week. He's going a little slow to the ring. You see no evidence the fact that this guy was practically murdered the week before. Most wrestlers, if you hit them,
he was on the stretcher, wasn't he?
Yep, and he was hit. I want to say, I didn't count, but let's say 16 times with a chair, and then an F5, and then knocked over on the stretcher. So it was a horrible experience for him. And the only impact that had on him was that he was walking slow to the ring. Brock met him out in the area around the ring. And then although Roman got a little bit of offense, it was just mostly Brock Lesnar show. More chair shots. He used stairs about 2 or 3 times on him. Did an F5 on him. And at the end of this, on the stairs, in the middle of the ring, he put him in the middle of the ring, F5. And at the end of this, or at least before then, either the chair or the stairs. We heard one more time from the audience. So my question to you guys is the WWE on the right path to get this guy cheered at WrestleMania? Based on the trend that we're seeing here, is this the right way to go? First, let's tackle that first question. Were they successful in getting Roman Reigns cheered once we get there, Chase?
I would say they gave a valiant effort, but no, that he's not being cheered like they anticipated. I mean, it's Brock Lesnar, dude.
Situation. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. A lot of this situation is who he's getting thrown around by is Brock Lesnar. Not everybody loves Brock Lesnar. You know, he's like a love-hate guy, but everybody likes him as a wrestler. And I think, that's what's hurting Roman Reigns right now. He's going against somebody that
if you really think about it, he's the last dude left from the, like, I would say Attitude Era maybe, but him and Orton are pretty much the last dudes left. So people love them. So it's going to be hard to over those dudes.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I mean, I think they gave a good effort. But what Chance said a couple weeks ago about him beating up on the cops, if he would have just done what he was supposed to be doing, that could have helped a little bit. But it's what Chad said. It's who he's going against. It's hard to go over on Brock Lesnar.
I think the other thing is it's the underdog role, and it's hard to look at somebody like Roman Reigns, and be like, this guy's the underdog. Now, when he's staring at Brock Lesnar, you can be like, okay, all right, that's fine. But the other thing is you totally diminished what Brock Lesnar did last week when the guy shows back up.
Yeah, crippling out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all know he's going to be back the next week. So you can't, what's the phrase, overcome stuff that doesn't really bother you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, he shouldn't have showed up, but I mean, I get what they're doing. But it lets me know, though, that he's going to win because they're just letting Brock beat the crap out of him right now. That's kind of what they always do. They let the person who's going to win take the beating to a big lead up.
I don't know. I would say that normally, but Reigns takes a beating every week regardless. So
yeah,
kind of hard to tell there.
So what would you do differently if you were in that room with Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon said, give me your best way of handling Roman Reigns? I want him cheered at WrestleMania, dang it. I need for you to give me an idea. What's your idea to get this guy cheered?
I got an idea to get him cheered in general, but not in time for WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't know that there's anything you can do at this point other than, if something happened in his personal life that, the fans were able to be compassionate for him or something like that. But I don't know what that could be, and maybe he has something you can run with. But
see, I think they blew that opportunity when he was doing the feud with Bray Wyatt. I think they really could have done something with Bray. I mean, I guess they tried. I know Bray was like at his house and like kidnapped his kid or supposedly or something, but they could have really pushed the envelope to make him. But like what John's saying, it's hard when you see the dude. It's hard to be compassionate to somebody like him. He's not Daniel Bryan or Finn Balor, somebody really small and kind of feeble looking. He's just not. Especially what you said, John. He took a beating, and then he still came back. Now, if they'd have showed him like in the hospital, or something like that, where he was like on like life support or something, or like I had a collapsed lung, then you might have been able to do something like that for WrestleMania.
I got 2 points. It's way too late now, but let's say they gave me this notice about a month ago. I don't know if you guys were paying attention, but when Samoa Joe was on Raw a few months ago, I think it was one of the Raws before. No, it's one of the Raws before he actually wrestled Brock Lesnar on a pay-per-view.
Okay,
but he talked down to Brock Lesnar like in a very condescending way that shook everybody up. Like it was It's powerful. Now, Roman Reigns hadn't been able to do that because of what they decided to do here. Let's keep Brock Lesnar off the show. But I think it would have been awesome if they would have had some type of confrontation, or I want to see fear in Brock's eyes just a little bit. Like Lesnar, Reigns does something that gets him thinking. And I don't know. But you can't play the underdog with this.
But you can't play the underdog if you go that route.
I don't want to. I want the guy cheered. And so the only way Roman Reigns is going to get cheered is if he's presented as a bad, you know what. And it may still not happen. But I remember going back to Sheamus. Sheamus held the title for a little bit because somebody got hurt. And Roman Reigns won it on Raw. And he had everybody in the building cheering for him. And this was the same place, I think it was 2015, where he won the Royal Rumble. Same building where they booed him out of the building. But they cheered for him here. Just, you got to cast these guys right. And I don't think
and that point with Sheamus is they might have been cheering because it overturned on a Raw instead of a pay-per-view. You think maybe?
And everybody hated Sheamus. Nobody liked him.
Nobody likes Sheamus.
Yeah, you have to get somebody up there that nobody likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We're not going to address the fact that you like Sheamus. Go ahead.
I agree with you,
Bubbles.
that they need to make him. They need to make him the bad A on the block, to get him cheered. Because nobody. I mean, it's hard not to like somebody that's just a bad A.
Are they not doing that though? Do you really think they're not doing that angle?
The bad A angle?
When he beats him, it might be, but
he's got smashed in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's Brock Lesnar. You saying that not being bashed in by Brock Lesnar? You saw what he did with Braun Strowman.
Braun smashed him in too, except for on that pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was kind of back and forth.
Except for the Royal Rumble. Or the
So you think people need to see him on the regular, on the weekly shows doing something instead of waiting to maybe, because half of them might not even be able to see the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That's what we call playing from underneath, which is where you're seen as the one who has to overcome stuff. And Roman Reigns does not fit that protocol. He needs to be a bad guy, but if you're not going to do that, he needs to be the kind of guy, he comes out there and he means business. If you want to compare him to somebody, not exactly like Braun Strowman, but with the same kind of impact and force. You don't want him to be in silly acting, but
John, do you think if they just made it to where you didn't see Roman for a couple months and brought him back,
you would never be able to do that for a couple months.
Do you think the fans would care that he was gone?
And
be
excited? The girls will care. Ladies will care. The little boys and girls will care, but not the men.
All right, what if they did this, John? He wins at WrestleMania, and then he pulls a Brock Lesnar and doesn't show up.
They won't do that.
And so he's like, if he did it, I'm going to do it.
Brock does it.
And that's the kind of bad A he comes out as.
What I'd like to see is Heyman turn on Lesnar and Reigns go heel. And just be like, he'd come out the next Monday night and be like, I came out here and got my head smashed in 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I heard you butthole saying you deserve it and one more time. So I'm done with you. I'm done with all y'all. And then now he's got Heyman to talk for him.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And then if Lesnar ever does come back, you talk about some heat.
Yeah, that's true. Good call.
Yep. That's something I had in my back of my head rolling around. Let's move on to the next one. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon had a segment or a promo, whatever you want to call, where it showed up both of them working out and getting ready for this Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle match. The guy that trains them said that they're on par with some of the best athletes in the country / world. Both of them came off very arrogant and confident. Depends on how you want to look at it. Yeah. And my opinion was it was awesome because it wasn't too over the top to where it was silly, but you could tell these guys were just full of crap. I wanted to hear you guys, what y'all thought about the particular segment. Chance, did you watch it? If so, what did you think?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I don't know how much I believe it, but I thought it was kind of cool. I wish they did a little more of that, showing the how they prep for them and things of that nature.
Repeat
Kinda
everything you
UFC
just said
does,
after the word prep. Repeat everything you said after the word prep.
Yeah, you broke up.
I wish they showed a little more how they prep for each match, like behind the scenes kind of stuff. What they do on their off days,
especially for pay-per-views. You can't do that, during the weeks.
Yeah. That's what
especially
I mean.
like SummerSlam or WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm calling bullcrap.
Okay.
I think Triple H is in great shape.
Ooh, that's serious, man. If I am anywhere near that at 48, my gosh.
Yeah, I think he's in great shape. Stephanie McMahon's in decent shape. I mean, athlete.
She's not an athlete.
It's
I think they're more bodybuilder types than athletes.
Yeah. Right, but it's the whole arrogant thing. You're supposed to look at that and be like, "That's a bunch of crap," but it's not too silly.
Yeah, I think they got that across for sure.
I love these video packages because a lot of times when somebody gets out in the middle of the ring, there's a lot of crap they have to deal with. What? And they got to worry about their cadence. Somebody like Asuka and Shinsuke, you talk about benefiting tremendously from this. You do this
week too, by the way.
Yeah, their production team has done really good with these promos they started doing like that.
You do that, you fill up some time. I know that they're all concerned about time.
And I'd much rather watch that than some people come out there and just talk in the middle of the ring.
Yeah. It's polished. It's just perfect.
Something like that does help Ronda Rousey when she beats them too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see, like you said, Chad. You're looking at Triple H, you can be like, I can see that he's going to be going up against Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle, he's not that great now, but you're looking at Stephanie McMahon, and she's all puffing up her chest, and she's like,
"Oh yeah,
she's not ready for me."
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. I like the storyline, but I think this match is going to be just poop fest.
Poop big.
Yeah,
it's going to be just sloppy. 4 different moves, and that's all you're going to see.
Yeah, but
are we on this podcast saying what we think is going to be the main event?
We did it one week. We can do it later on. We may have time. We're kind of dragging on these couple of segments.
Yeah, we are. All right. Well, let me say one more thing, though, John. About the are we including this promo thing as into where she was out there and Paige and the Absolution came out there?
Yeah, that's the follow-up. You can start us off with that.
I liked it, but if I heard "baby girl" come out of Paige's mouth one more time, I love Paige. I'm a huge Paige fan, but if I'm telling you, I cringed every single time. I'm like, really? Come on, you can come up with something else to say than "baby girl" 15 different times.
I thought Ronda did better this week than usual too. What she had to do.
I didn't understand that eye makeup. I didn't get that.
Yeah, that eye makeup.
The red eyes.
Yeah, I think she's trying to figure out something with that.
That was terrible.
She needs 0 makeup. She's a very attractive
I would think
person.
she don't even need the jacket, really.
Nope.
I'm like, I don't know.
It's kind of weird.
If it ain't broke, don't. If it is not, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Whatever.
She should have wore what she wore in UFC. To be honest, just wear that.
I think she did good because she started getting some what's, so she kind of changed up her tempo of how she's talking, her cadence, whatever the terminology was. It's a losing battle when you get out there and there are these, what's that paid $150 for their seat, and they're there just to terrorize the show.
You don't like the what's, John?
I hate it. When you're at a live show, you can ruin the show all you want.
I like it sometimes. Sometimes I think it's funny, and
do it against a guy like Miz, who's polished, knows what he's doing, and he can work you. Don't do it against Ronda, who's like in her 4th week.
Yeah, Miz is on a different level though.
He can eat that up. All right. Do you guys have any other comments on the Ronda Rousey promo part of this?
I'm good.
All right.
Baby girl, I'm good, baby girl. Baby girl, I'm good.
We're going to move on. And Chase, I need to talk to you about something.
All right, go for
You
it.
see, last week when you were on this podcast, you made me look bad, and it really hurt my feelings.
All right.
So I don't think we should do this anymore. No. What I'm doing is I'm mimicking the bull crap we saw between Bailey and Sasha as they finished up their pee period, and the bell was about to ring, and they had an honest discussion about how they didn't like each other. Obviously, I hated this segment.
Well, John, it's a storyline that they're trying to develop, but it's just kind of they're halfway doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it'd actually be a really good. They could really make that a really good match and a really good storyline if they really better than the Nia and Bliss crap. I'd much rather see what there would be going on than them two, but yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm right there with you.
To me, it's like go back to high school. In your junior year, there was a girl that you really, really liked, but she didn't have anything to do with you. And so you moved on, met other girls, and when you get to your senior year, she's now interested. That's kind of what this feud has been for me, because we have seen them almost fight for like 2.5 years now. They get very, very close, and then they go with their separate ways. Oh, now we're back to do. No, this is like the third time that they've had little squabbles that they're going to break up as friends.
But have they gone this far with it?
No, the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, like
they hadn't had a beat down like this. They just teased it for 2.5 years. So now it don't have any meaning for you because it hadn't been built right.
Yeah.
Chad, your thoughts?
I thought the fight was pretty good. I mean, it came out of nowhere, kind of, but I thought it was a good little fight. I mean, what are they doing for WrestleMania? I mean,
they're going to be in that women's battle royal.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's sad. But I wish Sasha had her own match. But
I thought that'd be a good match for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot to fit in though this year. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be the last two or something. Well, it don't work that way though, does it? Whoever pins.
Last month, the one who's in it at the end, like that hasn't been thrown out.
Yeah. So maybe it'll be them two at the end.
Yeah,
they'll do something, and then on the next pay-per-view they might do something. But we got that superstar shakeup.
Yep.
Coming. Hopefully they'll be on different shows where they can start some different programs. Chance, anything from you on the fight at the local high school?
I mean, I liked it. I don't know the story behind it, but just from what I've seen here recently, I like their little feud, and I think they are fine. I think this was the last straw to turn Sasha heel for good.
Yeah, once you punch Bailey in the face, like from behind, like she basically like cheap shot her.
Yeah. I thought that they finally went ahead and broke that camel's back if they had not already.
But John, this lets you know with Chance saying what he's saying is that now I'm starting to realize they do certain things for casual fans than they do for like people who are hardcore.
But the other part of this is Chance hadn't seen this thing happen like 3 times, like I have.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It for him, it was like, whoa, that's kind of cool.
People come in and out, especially people who come in and out. You can do stuff you've done before, and nobody will even know it. They'll think it's new.
Yep.
So,
anything else from Raw that you want to talk about? Example, Cena's promo.
I'll say this.
Chance's rants coming.
Oh, we got a rant. We got a rant.
I get early on that.
Yeah, let's save it. Chad, I know you're about to say something, but you can just respond to what Chance says when he gets to the Cena's promo. I think somebody told me about that, maybe Chase, that you want to talk about. SmackDown recap. So the opening of the show was Daniel Bryan coming out and saying, hey, I'm ticked off at Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We're going to have a match at WrestleMania. Shane McMahon should be back, and it'll be a tag team match versus the other. So If Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon win, Cammy is still fired. If Cammy wins, then they're hired back onto SmackDown. So there's a whole plot hole here, a big plot hole. So if you're Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, you have 0 to lose. If you lose, you're already fired. It don't matter. If you win, you get your jobs back. And so this seemed kind of ridiculous to me. I think the delivery was a little off too with Daniel Bryan. It was like he was giving us bad news at the beginning, and which was strange. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. Chase, what were you thinking during this promo?
I couldn't stand it, to be honest with you. I'm kind of over the Daniel Bryan. I worked for 3 years.
1 week?
Yep, I'm tired. Well, I'm not tired of him, but I'm tired of I worked for 3 years. Nobody, this is my dreams. I've heard it like 17 times in 1 week. Preached about it last week.
And you'll probably heard it again. John walked off on you.
Yeah, he did.
He said, F this.
He don't care about Daniel Bryan no more than I care about him. I don't know, man.
I like Daniel Bryan, but I'm just tired of the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
I'm tired of
I am too. I think that might be what it is.
I think
it's like, dude,
wrestler and no more commissioner.
Like he's like, I'm tired of wearing these blazers and whatever this thing is. I'm like, gosh, you don't even know what you're doing.
Just like, guys, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens hurt me last week. We're gonna have a match at Wrestle. Everybody's like cheering loud. Like, we're gonna have a match at WrestleMania. It's like, is this bad news or something?
I know. It's like
be fired up about it. I didn't get it.
I didn't get it either, man.
Well, you called that like 3 weeks ago, so.
All right, but since we're on that, are we gonna predict? Or can we talk about right now who we think is a backup plan for?
Oh, good one,
Shane. Because I don't know. I don't see him making it, John. I really don't.
He shouldn't. Now, the only thing I can say is if the day after that thing happened where he got hit on the back thing, they went like that night. They got on a cruise, and it happened like the next night. Still, it took Brock Lesnar like 6 months to recover from the.
Now you think this is fake news?
I don't know. I don't know why they would throw that in there. That seems kind of like
throw that in there
left field.
But see, I think that's what he was talking about. Why he was going to leave and have a time of absence before they beat him up is because he was planning on taking care of that.
Well, Roman Reigns had a hernia in like 2014. He was out for 4 months.
Yep.
So there you go.
All right. So here's my Shane McMahon fill-in. It took me a lot to think about this because I'm trying to think of storylines. I'm trying to think of people, and I'm trying to think that it's WrestleMania.
Don't you do it. Don't you pick mine.
So it's WrestleMania, and this person wasn't there last year.
Oh, okay. It's not mine then.
Okay. Mine is The Rock.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Okay, storyline. Why would he get into a match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens?
That's my problem, though, John.
Yeah,
I have no storyline. I have no storyline.
Let me pick John's.
Go
ahead, Chad.
I might be picking his. Dean Ambrose.
No.
Nope.
What's he?
I got him on another hype, though. Beep, 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 beep. I got him coming in on something else.
Also, did we ever predict who Brahms going to have in his
tag? Hey, don't ruin my match.
I got to do something here. I'm sorry. It is Braun. Does not have an M at the end of his name.
I know, he does throw a Braun.
Every time you say that, it's like a chalkboard.
Braun.
No. Not Braun.
It's easier to say Braun.
Braun.
It sounds
good. All right, anyway. So you say Dean Ambrose. Chance, who do you say? Who's going to be Daniel Bryan's backup?
If Shane can't go.
Yeah, backup partner.
They're throwing him in with everybody. So.
Rusev?
Why not?
He's already in a match.
He's already in a match. That's what was gonna be my pick until he got put into this match.
Yeah. You want to hear mine, and it makes perfect sense.
Go. I am want to hear it.
Chris Jericho.
Oh, Jericho! That would be awesome because of Kevin Owens. That's a good pick.
What about Tyler?
Plus, he's got the bunch
the number 10 guy.
He's got a bunch
Shut
of
up,
history with KO,
Chance.
don't he?
Tyler Breeze. What's he got against those two guys?
Jericho's got a bunch of history with KO, right?
Yeah, he's got a lot of history.
Festival of Friendship. He got destroyed by Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Why is my name on this list?
That's if Ambrose comes back healthy. I mean, I'm not saying he is. I think he's due back this summer, really. But
yeah, who knows about
I hope
him.
he comes back with somebody else next week.
Excellent question. I want to spend a little bit less time on this next one. It should be pretty simple for all of us. Does Rusev joining the U.S. title match make it more appealing to you? I think all of us were like, this is the garbage popcorn match. Now, I don't know if it can be.
Nope.
Yeah,
I love it.
It was garbage because I hate Rude and Jinder, and Orton's kind of eh. Now I think Rusev could actually win this, and I won't be mad about it. So,
Rusev is going to win.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm not hating on Jinder now. Jinder brought it Tuesday night. I thought he looked pretty good.
Oh, let me
like
go back
Jinder, though.
real quick. We didn't talk about the new Raw little fight. I guess they're from NXT. The black dude.
Cruiserweights.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Why?
Because it's 10 o'clock and 10:06 and we got like 24 minutes left.
I'm just saying that move he did is pretty stupid.
Yeah, the 205's got some high fly.
It's fun. It's fun to watch.
But they don't matter.
No, it don't matter. But it could matter one day.
Chance, Rusev added to the match. Did that spice it up for you?
I give it a 10 out of 10.
I liked it.
That match.
Yep. Okay.
I love Rusev. He's my favorite guy on SmackDown.
Well, happy Rusev Day to you, Chance. Happy Rusev Day to you.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, moving.
All right. Next, so we got the whole angle with Shinsuke teasing and playing this mind game, and AJ Styles coming across as emotional. My question to you guys is Shinsuke's mind games the way to go in the build-up to WrestleMania. He saved AJ this last week, but while AJ's stumbling around, he loads up for the Kinshasa, and stops right before it, pats AJ on the head. All right.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Chad, why don't you share your opinions on this first?
This whole thing, I think it makes AJ look kind of childish and sad and silly, but I think Shinsuke's playing it real well, though. I think he's gotten even funnier and better with his delivery than he was a couple months ago. He was kind of rough around the edges. Yeah, I kind of figured, I was like, there's no way that he's going to knee him. I kind of saw it coming in a sense. I think he sold it good and he kind of played with him, but still one of the best. Well, I don't know which pay-per-view it was, but his first entrance ever, that was epic. Was it SummerSlam, his first entrance ever?
I think it was SummerSlam.
It was nuts. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, the violinist out there, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, but you're limited on what you can do with Shinsuke. I think this is the best use of him. He's not overly silly in this way. And as long as they stay away from the ooh, it's almost stereotypical. But as long as he does that kind of stuff, like you're too emotional. Yeah. That's Chance's stick right there. You gotta let him do that.
I thought it was awesome. Because he didn't just touch his face, he
this is a weird correlation, but I feel like Shinsuke and Braun are similar. Does that make sense?
No.
I think they play with
a small Asian dude.
They don't talk well.
I think he means just the way they play them out.
Usually that don't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Braun, he's getting pretty good. All right, moving.
I think part of the issue is, before we move on, is WWE's trying to stay away from this. It's like, if we just let these guys show up every week, it's going to be a dream match. Let's don't throw something in here and totally screw the whole thing up. Let's don't try to be too cute, because we don't care about the talking leading up to this one. Next thing, the mixed match challenge. Was it a good idea to do this close to WrestleMania? Because considering that we're asking these guys, some of them to do 2 or 3 times the workload that they normally do, and overall thoughts on it. I'm going to go first because I keep telling you guys to go first. I hated the mixed match challenge when it first started. I don't think it's such a great idea to do it this close because you always have the chance of injury. But and it's crazy to think this. I love the interaction between males and females because for many, many years now, they've lived in separate worlds. When the women come out, all the men are there in the locker room. And when the men are out, all the women are in the locker room, and they never have any interaction. From what I've seen, almost all the interactions have been good. There's been some humor. It's just been really lighthearted. Like, nothing serious, but just fun to watch. Chase, what do you think?
You're welcome.
I thought it was like what you said. It was pretty bad at the beginning, but then as you watch it and you watch the storyline that they're kind of portraying back and forth with the women and the men, I hate that, it kind of breaks up the match. Like Miz and Asuka winning only because of Asuka. And you know what I mean? So it kind of breaks up the match. You can't really get a real good team chemistry going. But besides that, I think it was all right. But I haven't watched it since Braun got put out. So
do you think this could make it to like Raw and Smackdown?
No.
It would just be throwaway matches because there's no title involved.
I'd
rather see women tag team than that.
Yeah, man, I know what you're saying. I was just asking. I don't know.
And the Bludgeon
It
Brothers.
would be fun to be like Angle comes out and you got 2 different groups, women and men fighting women and there's 2 different storylines, and he's like, y'all both gonna settle it together in the ring.
That might
like Bailey and I don't know. You can figure it out, but Sasha and Bailey on the opposite sides. All right. Any last thoughts on that before we move on?
Nah.
All right, good deal. So we are at the match of the night segment for tonight's show. Chase, what was the match of the night for this week?
Match of the night. Well, since you gave us so much homework, I kind of glazed over this.
Oh my God! Did you see what Chad did?
I know, and now
Chad
I feel
schooled you. That's the standard right there.
But I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Match of the night. I had a really good segment of the night. Can I do that instead of match?
Sure. But I'm gonna tell you what I want.
All the matches were kind of.
This is what I want from you every single week. You can give me a segment. Match of the night. I want you to tell me what from start to finish what happened in it, and then explain why. You don't have to be extremely detailed, but
okay. Well, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. The John Cena Kane match.
Okay.
That was my match of the week. Because here we go. Kane is defending his brother's honor by coming out there and putting up with Cena. Cena is trying to mimic everything and antagonize and get under the skin of the Undertaker as bad as he can. But what he don't understand is he's the Undertaker. You can't do that to the Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? So even though I can't stand Cena, the little things he was doing during the match were kind of funny and kind of, corny, but you know what I mean? So that was a match. If I had to pick one, I liked it. It was kind of cool. They beat up on each other pretty good bit. Now my what I wanted to go with was my segment, which was the Miz and
Mr. Raj and Rollins.
Yeah, the Mr. Oz had me going, John.
Hooked
me going. Hooked me, babe. Hooked me hard, man. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. They're splitting up. And then, whoop. Nope. It was all planned. It was all planned.
I liked everything about this, but I hate Seth Rollins in this role.
I do too. I feel so bad for Seth Rollins.
Hold on a second, Miz. I'm like climbing up to the top of the ramp at the stairs. You really need to think each one of these guys, because they've had your back.
Yep.
Mr. Raj. I don't know. The way he talks just drives me
it's
crazy.
just kind of it's just not him. It's like he's trying to do something that is not him at all.
And then Ben comes out and does the same thing. I hate to interrupt you, man.
Hey.
I agree with you. Miz and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, perfect in that segment.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
All right, Chance, the floor is yours. Tell us about this epic John Cena promo.
This John Cena promo, John. Now, a couple weeks ago, or it might have been last week, I can't remember. I ripped John Cena for the promo that he did on Raw.
Because he talked like this.
Because he talked like this, and it zoomed in on his face like this. And he still zoomed in on his face like this. But you can see in his face this week, he just looked different. He looked more passionate. He looked like he felt what he was talking about. And he really, really wants to be in WrestleMania is the main thing. And,
he got you.
Huh?
He got you.
He got me. He plugged on my heartstrings, and maybe it's because I like the Undertaker a lot. I don't know, but Undertaker. Part of me wants Cena to shut up and just stop. But then the other part of me really wants the Undertaker to come out there,
whoop his ass,
and give us a show like he
I know.
always does.
I was so hoping he would come out on that.
All right, let's say this. Let's say, why not they make that match like 30 seconds long? Undertaker does 4 moves.
Just come up there.
It'd be twice my high speed.
You know what I'm saying?
Come up there, punch him in the face, tombstone over.
Tombstone or choke slammed into tombstone, just then put him to bed.
That would be awesome. I would love it. It
won't happen, which it should, because Undertaker's really not a great wrestler anymore, and Cena's not that great either. But I think this whole segment was good because, like Chance said, it was at least funny. It was at least trying to be funny. It was at least something. Like,
I got a question for you though, John. Why is this the main event?
About Kane and Cena.
Wasn't it? It was of that night of Raw.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. If Undertaker's not going to show up, then
why is that?
That's what they think. They want you to think he is.
Yeah.
That was my only question. Is like, I guess to keep people to showing up and to coming and staying the whole time.
I don't think he's going to show up at WrestleMania.
No. Oh, WrestleMania.
Oh, I don't know, man.
He ain't gonna show up at Raw.
No, I know.
I would hope that he wouldn't. I would hope he wouldn't show up at WrestleMania. And then the night after Raw, Cena's out there, talking trash, and then he comes out on that and gives him a beat down.
Kane and Cena's Undertaker. Goes on the match in the ring, starts doing his little promo in WrestleMania, and then he goes and sits in the front row the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't come? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
C5.
Sits there.
And the camera just pans to Cena like every match.
How terrible was that one time, though? Did y'all see the part where he goes and gets the beer from the guy?
Yeah.
Like he went out in the crowd. He was like, I can't wait. I'm going to drink that beer with you. You save me some of that beer.
WrestleMania, either way, whether in the ring or as a fan.
Like, can you believe these things cost $10? Yes, Cena. That's every single athletic event.
Like, are you trying to get more sales for WrestleMania? It's like,
oh man.
Well, what I don't like about the whole storyline is he's badgering the Undertaker so he can have a match. Cena can have a wrestling match at WrestleMania. Just stupid to me.
Yeah.
Maybe he can badger Brock Lesnar.
That won't mean anything. Even if I mean it's the Undertaker, it means something because
it's a match on WrestleMania. That's all it needs to be. But
but there's no length to it.
No,
you know what I mean?
I tell you what I want to see. I want to see Cena call him out next week, and finally Undertaker comes out and says, "John, I sent you a text message like a week, 3 weeks ago. I said yes, I will fight you at WrestleMania." And Cena's like, I don't think you sent me. Oh, there it is. My bad, everybody. He did get back with me. We are going to have the match. That's my fault, Undertaker. My fault.
Yeah, I don't see that happen. It'd be hilarious, but Undertaker's not talking that much.
It could be that Twitter segment. They could be tweeting each
The
other.
new Twitter, so yeah,
Or
they
he
could
like
tweet
checked
it.
his old email. Man, you sent it to my old email.
That's
Or
my
like
Hotmail.
he sent it to the John
Went
Cena
to
MySpace.
fan account, like
I went to a spam
like
account.
a fake account, fake Twitter
Yeah.
account. Are you the John Cena? No, I'm John Cena WWE. Oh, that's what happened. Sorry.
Oh, it didn't have the check mark. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to rant about, but we kind of already talked about. I don't want to beat the dead horse. Is just Roman Reigns getting continuously destroyed again, and constantly continuing to come back as if nothing happened.
You're the casualist of the casual here. When you look at that, does it make Roman Reigns more appealing to you?
No, I get tired of. I'm very much so. If I see the person every week, I get tired of them quick. So
See, that's why I love Breezango
I
so
wish
much.
they would stop doing Asuka so much because they're like, I don't like when they show the same people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because I'm not watching every second to watch the one time every 6 weeks that Dolph Ziggler gets in there. So.
Yep. Next segment, our winners and losers for the week. I'm going to go first because one of y'all is going to say this, and I'm going to make y'all have to choose a different one.
You jerk.
My winner of the week, Rusev Day.
You jerk.
So the backstory is his shirts and what he's done week after week has impressed the company, and now he's getting this chance to wrestle at this event because those shirts are like selling out every time. They'll print more. They're selling them out. Yeah,
I don't get that though.
He's
John.
selling the
really
most
don't.
merchandise right now too, all together.
it's kind of like the New Day thing. It's just one of those things. It's organic. It happened organically, so that's why it's popular.
It's real hot right now.
Yep. My loser, and this is going to be somebody else's loser. Shane McMahon. You get your back broken, and then you're like, I need a break, guys. Let's go on a cruise. So you go on a cruise, and while you're there, you get diverticulitis, and you had a hernia based on what happened the previous week that you got to deal with. But first, you got to get rid of diverticulitis before you can handle the hernia surgery. So that's his week. He got his tail kicked. He got diverticulitis. And he got a hernia.
Yeah, that's why I don't see him making it.
Yep. Okay. Chase, you want to go next?
My winner is The Miz. Just because I love The Miz on the mic. He had a good, and he faked me out. I gave that out earlier. Mm-hmm. So whenever you do that to me and you get me hook, line, and sinker, I'm going to give you a win of the week. My loser, and this is a very weak loser, but I have a two-way loser. One of them is Cena, just because I hate Cena. And the other one is Becky Lynch because of the outfits that she's wearing now. And she went away from...
That's a great one, Chase.
I'm like, Becky, what's the problem? Did somebody tell you looked fat in the other stuff? And now you're having to go to this one piece light on fire looking thing? I don't get it. You took away your originality, and I'm not a fan of it.
And there's a joke that you can do with redheads and fire, and you don't want to set anybody up for that. You don't want that to be on everybody's mind. It was on my mind.
Really?
Going on.
I don't know. She went away from what she used to be.
Whenever she was doing really good, she was wearing the other outfit, and now that she's kind of backslidden the last.
She did win, and she did beat the other Riot Squad people down, but the whole time I'm just like, this outfit is just not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my loser.
Chadwick.
My winner, other than her eyeshadow. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds
Ronda
good.
Rousey's my winner, just because she sounded a little better, looked a little better. I mean, like looked like when she moved and grabbed people. Wasn't
She looked
so
more comfortable.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's my winner, and my loser is Mickey James because she got sat on.
She did.
That's
Yeah.
all.
She did.
Good choices. Chance, you want to go? Sorry, I sold you your thunder there.
Yeah. My winner. I got two winners. Well, one, Cammy, because, like you said, they getting to wrestle at WrestleMania, even though they're fired. Is it at WrestleMania or is it supposed to be next week?
No,
Oh, it's WrestleMania.
Here's my problem with that. Before you finish, there's no way they're gonna lose.
I know, right?
I mean,
Yep.
that's the only stupid part about it. Anyway, go ahead.
So they're my winner, but the loser of that is WWE Universe having to watch that again.
Again.
It's really a
fighting.
loss in the grand scheme of things. But that's not my loser. My loser was Ronda Rousey's eyeballs. They have that makeup she had on them. Gotta give her that.
Oh man. I was like, is her eyes on fire?
I don't get
It was
it.
bad.
I don't
It was
get
bad.
the under
I
eye.
kept double taking. Like I would see it and then I'd look. Wait, what is that?
Do you have like an allergy or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
she eats some raw fish or something she's allergic to.
It's weird.
Oh, man.
All right, that's our winners and losers for the week. We actually have some time left over, so I'm going to hit you with a couple of overtime items before we get out of here. The first one is, which matches or match need to be on the pre-show? And I sent you guys a text message with all the matches listed, but you probably can't access that right now from your perspective.
So you want to know what's the best pre-show match or what should be a pre-show match?
Which means it's garbage.
So
Yeah, what
before
should be
you
on the
ask
pre-show?
Before you ask me this question,
I have
I'm
to
gonna
know
need
all
to
the
know
matches.
what types of matches typically you're on a pre-show.
Probably won't be a title contention.
Like a 205 match or
They had a pre-show title match last year, the Intercontinental, or maybe the year
they
before.
could do the Rusev Orton one, but I could see that.
I think the women's Royal Rumble or whatever is going to be the pre-show match.
Mm-hmm. It's a possibility. I thought it would have been the tag match between it's New Day and Bludgeon Brothers,
Anyway.
but they can't do it now because of what the Usos said. We've never been on the main show, so they got to do it. I'm going with Andre, the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, because they don't have a whole lot of steam on it this year as they've had in the past.
So me and you're on the opposite. Me and you are going with Battle Royals then.
Mm-hmm. I see. Whenever Shinsuke and AJ fight, it's going to be such a great match. They'll need a come down match, and either the women's Battle Royal or the men's Battle Royal will be right after that, because you can be like, okay. So
you're saying you still think Brock's main event?
Yeah, Brock and Reigns is my main event.
I would say Cammy and Daniel Bryan and whoever he's wrestling with be the pre-show.
That's not a bad pre-show.
I know you don't care about Daniel Bryan, but everybody in that place is going to lose their minds when he comes out in his tights to wrestle.
Yeah, they don't want half the fans in there when they do it.
Well, they might though if he's a little rusty and
That's smart. You can't be like, well, we'll just put him on the pre-show. That's going to be one of the main things to see him.
And Ronda, you can't put on the pre-show either.
It'll be right in the middle.
It would have been the U.S. title match, I think, if Rusev wasn't added. And now, I don't think you can do it there.
I think the Triple H and them is going to be pretty early. It won't be pre-show, but it'll be pretty early.
I think it'll be fairly early.
He needs to get back there and run the show after.
They're building that up so much, though. I'm almost starting to think that this thing's going to be the main event.
Maybe.
I mean, they're building that thing up every week.
They are, dude. It's on like SmackDown and Raw. They're doing promos for it.
They're even on ESPN too.
Yep.
They're getting all they can out of her. Okay, last question. Think about all these matches. Which WrestleMania match in your mind has had the best storyline, like the build up leading up to it?
That's a good question.
That's tough.
That's some good ones.
I'm gonna say the one I have voted for the main event, which is the Asuka and Charlotte.
I was gonna say that. Here lately, it ain't much of a storyline, but
Yeah.
No, but she's got the streak, so that kind of
it
like
was
trumps
real cool
everything.
whenever she came out during what you
I
call
would
it.
say the Ronda Rousey storyline to me.
They're pushing it. That's for dang sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but is it that good of a storyline, or is it just because they're going against the McMahons?
I
she
think
hadn't
it's
really
just
done
Ronda.
anything.
For me, it's just because of Ronda.
There's not a lot
done
of
a good job with the tag team.
Yes.
The Bludgeon Brothers
And Kurt
Usos.
Angle. I got a man crush on Kurt Angle. So
I think Kurt should have been doing a lot more besides patting Rousey in the back. He needs to have a revenge factor or something that's been more stated. I'm going to go with that Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan. I've hated up until the point where Daniel Bryan came back, but there's a lot of, when Cammy comes out, they get booed out of the building, and that's very hard to do these days.
Well, it's because of Daniel Bryan now.
Yep.
Well, that adds
would it
to
have mattered as much, John, if he wasn't fighting?
Nope.
Now, what will really set it off is if Jericho does come out. That place will erupt.
So the Scarfall, the list.
So next week's
he goes walking out and he points at him.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. You just made the list.
That would be awesome.
That would be
so awesome. Good call.
Yeah. There will be no washed up wrestler next week. We're gonna be doing too many predictions. It's a WrestleMania week.
We might have to skip all of our normal segments.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Raw and SmackDown for a second, but we'll have to go to predictions.
Yeah.
And that'll be a lot of the show.
You're right. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Like, subscribe, email us, prowrestlingperspectives@gmail.com. If you would like to be on the show, now's your chance. We got one or two more episodes. Well, one more episode before WrestleMania. Be a good time to get in on it. So with that said, we want to say goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you again next week.
Peace.